Many Queensland councils are scrambling to put in place flood mitigation projects before next summer's storm season. Adding to the urgency is a recent refusal by Suncorp to issue new insurance policies for the flood-prone towns of Emerald and Roma, with many councils fearing their communities could be next on the no-go list. The issue of insurance is contentious, with premiums soaring in the wake of the floods. And some flood victims are still doing battle with their insurers over whether they were covered. Kieran McKechnie hit the roads across southern Queensland to meet those still battling the aftermath of the 2011-2012 floods.
When the water came in, the amount of rubbish that it brought into our workshop was incredible. It filled it up basically to the top level, which is about 18 inches of silt and that through the workshop. We managed to get some possessions out, but the water just came so quick.
Like so many other Queenslanders, Dean Gibbs' business copped a battering in the 2011 floods. The Dalby mechanic lost about $100,000 worth of office and workshop equipment. He thought he was covered for flood damage because that's what his insurers told him.
When we knew the water was coming, we contacted our insurance brokers who we deal with, gave them the information that the water was coming and looked like we were going to go under. They assured us that yes, everything is right, you are covered definitely for flood insurance.
Yet 18 months later, he still hasn't seen a cent.
The insurance company, after they realised that they had to pay, came up with that they had a computer glitch for 3 days, and during that 3 days, that's when our premium went through. So apparently, according to them, the insurance policy was null and void.
Dean Gibbs' case is currently being considered by the Financial Ombudsman. While he waits for a decision, he's trying to keep his head above water.
With the help of everyone in this community and the staff, we've managed to keep going so far. And it's probably going to take us about 7 years to get back to where we were before the flood.
Those financial situations they got has been absolutely heart-wrenching for everybody, but their emotional issues are still raw. They're very raw, and people are sick and tired of it. They want to move on with their lives.
Ray Brown is the mayor of the Western Downs region, which takes in a string of towns battered in the 2011 floods. He's spooked by a decision by Suncorp Insurance to stop issuing new policies in disaster-ravaged Roma and Emerald.
And I don't want that to happen in Dalby, Chinchilla, Miles, Dowie, all these towns that we had affected.
Suncorp won't budge until flood mitigation projects are in place in Emerald and Roma. But for the Western Downs, it's not that easy.
A lot of these towns we can't put levee banks in, and we're well aware of that. This town of Chinchilla, we've got 2 creek systems that come in through here. There's some major issues. Dalby with a creek that splits the middle of the town. You can't put levee banks on each side and try and divert water somewhere else. It's a flat floodplain.
Here in St George, it's a different story. A permanent levee is an obvious way to better protect the town next time it floods. But while it would provide many with peace of mind, for others, it'd be catastrophic. When the floodwaters rose in St George in February, authorities took the unprecedented step of evacuating the entire town. Many sought refuge in nearby Dalby while they waited for the worst.
And I can see the heartbreak and hardship that's still causing people in the community. Hopefully we can get something in place that people can have some sense of security when it starts to rain again.
The temporary levees that averted all-out disaster are still being dismantled, but many want something more concrete. The Balonne Shire Council has sought the advice of the Reconstruction Authority about flood mitigation projects, including a permanent levee.
I think there may be several, solutions to the problem. The levee bank being just one. But what we have to remember is that we have to do something that's affordable, not just by us, because obviously the federal and state government are also involved, in this, and there's no bottomless bucket of money available. So we have got to implement something that we can all afford and quickly.
For Graham Nossi, a permanent levee is a positive solution.
Lasts a lot longer with the heavy elements, okay?
The electrical retailer can't get flood insurance on his stock, and February's flood almost crippled him.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. You know, you got about $300,000-400,000 worth of stock, and it just goes. That was my worry last time. We spent 6 hours putting everything up high, packing fridges, washing machines, and if it had gone, I would have been out in the gutter the next day.
But a town levy could spell disaster for Don Gould.
A bit deeper in the water, I think.
The floodwaters caused hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage to his St George home, and he still can't move back in. He fears his home would fall on the wrong side of a levee.
If we had the same amount of water and they have a levee bank in, it'll be higher here for sure. Can't not be.
You know, it's good to have hindsight and say, well, you know, we won't build there in the future, but what's there now creates a problem. So, yes, there is always that element that we can't protect everyone, but hopefully that what we will come up with is protecting our urban communities as best we can.
Donna Stewart knows any permanent flood mitigation works won't suit everyone, and she'll put the council's plans to a public meeting soon. But she says she, like so many other Queensland mayors, are in a race against time, not just to beat next summer's rains, but also any moves by insurance companies to pull out of their towns.
And hopefully, now that we've got the Reconstruction Authority here to guide us in what we may be able to do to provide that permanent protection for the town, that we will be able to show to the insurance industry that we are, we're making positive efforts towards protecting our communities.
Kieran McKechnie reporting.